I remember at the time thinking we're writing this with 15 people, but really, even though it's contrary to what you first think, that maybe it would be easier for one person to write this episode because there's so much to keep track of. But
Yeah.
it worked
And
out
who
very
might
well.
that person be, David?
You, Rich, you.
Oh, I like David's idea.
And you'll also notice the ones that have a harder transition to think of, those who made the either the act break or the beginning of the act.
Right, exactly. And then they were the ones that had the musical intros. Like Apu had a musical intro that got cut out.
I think that's also in
No,
the...
it was there. Jolly Bang
There was
No,
a-
but there was a
the-
song.
There was a
There's
song.
a song,
that's
and
in
I
the
think that's
DVD
going to be in the outtakes.
Yes.
Maybe.
But now, Bill, you were going to talk about Chalmers, yes?
I love Superintendent Chalmers more than any other character in the history of the show. Not to say I don't love all the characters,
Yeah, yeah.
but Chalmers is he's the only character that seems to operate in the normal human universe.
Until Frank Grimes, I'll take over as Bill's phone. Because until Frank Grimes arrived, Chalmers is the only one who points out that this universe is slightly insane and people behave in slightly
Wait a
insane
minute, didn't
manner.
he date Skinner's mom?
A
little crazy.
Yes,
From time to
in episode
time.
12 this season, he went on one date, but he does, and like I just love. It's almost like he's Eddie Albert in
Wait a
Green
minute.
Acres.
You can't just dismiss that.
Here's what I love about this sequence here.
Oh, this is a great
Yes,
scene with this
yes.
dialogue here.
Yes, I
Yes,
love it too.
this plays out at a length which is virtually never seen on The Simpsons or any animation. Just the relaxed, long nature of this exchange on with no particular import. It's just such a treat to see it play out for one.
Well,
It's
Skinner
also
and
a fair-
Chalmers are also, they have one joke. Up till this point, they basically had one joke in the history of the show, which is Skinner tells some sort of outrageous lie, unbelievable lie, and Chalmers sort of buys it but doesn't really. So this is a string of like 40 of them more like 13 of them in one episode.
You'll also notice that this segment mentions Utica and Albany, which seem to recur a number of times
What's
in The
that
Simpsons.
about?
We're like, look out, Utica. Remember from Springfield
That's
as well.
because you and me keep putting it in.
Because
It sounds funny.
it's another sort of humor of the boring, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
So moving on.
Speaking of humor of the boring, I have the most boring animation question in history. I feel very confident. In the opening sequence for this Skinner and Chalmers thing, the background is some kind of wicker, but it looks like a photo almost of wicker. I'm wondering, where did that wicker come from?
I
We'll get
picked it
back
from
to
a
you.
catalog of things at the
You're one.
post-production.
Always with the wicker question.
It was a funny choice. It's just like, that is the most boring background.
It was picked
Well,
from
actually,
a
that whole
catalog of
sequence
things
was
at the
put together
post-production
I didn't
house,
like
David.
this. It looked too video-y.
Wait, what did you say? It was put together
It was
when?
put together in post-production.
Yeah,
It wasn't animated.
they had a list. I just said get some boring sitcom-style stuff and show it to me, and there's one.
I also want to know, Mrs. Skinner's screams coming up are horrifying.
Yeah, help. I love
Tress
that.
does that better than anybody.
Like that's not funny, I guess.
Well, she'll be all
Thanks a
right.
lot, Josh.
No, I mean it's funny that she's getting burned up.
So, Bill, was Chalmers already a character when you guys came on the show?
I think he appeared for the very first time in the 4th season, right when we were here, in that episode where he gets hit by the tractor. And you remember that one? And Bart, he's
I
picking
don't
a flower.
remember. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
anyone in particular responsible for his creation?
I don't know. It was before our time, but I sure do love him.